this particular conversation. I mean, it's a complex topic, but we're going to take a step back and see exactly we can speak to majority of employees and HRs outside that. When you say that it's important to foster a positive work environment and cohesive team dynamics, let's start from that. What is this complex language that you're throwing around this particular area?
Thank you, Simba. Number one, thank you for having me on the show today. And before I delve in the topic, I just want to say that it's very interesting. It's coming after Labor Day, where the conversation is mostly about the workplace, the employer, the employees, and basically for us to come there, we've been doing corporate team buildings for a long time, and we've picked things along the way of why at the workplace maybe productivity will go up, will go down. And it's a very intimate conversations we've had with HRs and business owners, especially SMEs, where they're not very established and structured. So we're still in the process of storming and forming a team. So that is what got me interested into wanting to find out what are these dynamics, especially under the HR functions you mentioned.
Yes.
Since this falls under HR management and development. To answer your question is like any visionary. When you start a company, when you start an organization, definitely you're not going to do that alone. In the factors of production, you need to bring some labor force on board. And these are guys you're pulling from different professionals. These are guys you're pulling from, like in our Kenyan setup, these are guys who are coming from different places, some different nationalities, and these are guys who should come together and form a team. When they first initially walk in, and I'm sure it happened at Lookuptv, they're a group. These are guys now you have to shape into looking at a particular vision or working towards a particular vision. So there are various dynamics involved in getting the minds together and getting their hearts serving a particular purpose. Yes, sir.
Does that?
Yes.
Let's then look back into this particular function that you're saying, well, it belongs to the human resource.
Yes.
How limited is the HR department in these companies? How limited are they? To the point that you're telling them, you see what we do, you can't do it the way we do it.
All right. I guess you know as well as I do. We all have an office we love to hate. It's called the HR office because HR directly deals with every team member. And sometimes we find it's not that easy. It's not as easy. I guess it's Moses in the Bible who had at some point to drop the commandments because dealing with people is a hard job.
Yes.
These are people, like I mentioned earlier, they are pulled from every professionalism, locally, every tribe. And we all know we still have the vices of, you know, tribalism, nepotism and all. Somebody was brought in by the boss, not by merit. Then you sit on that chair and you're supposed to chaperone them. So it's not an easy job, but it really lies with HR to create a positive work environment.
Yes.
This is under the HR, that's why actually with the established corporate established institutions, you find the welfare department is also based. And these are the people who directly advise the HR. How do we create this positive environment? This is an intern who is coming in.
Yes.
How do they gel in with the team? This is, you know, the organizational structure. These are the managers. These are the board members. How do we create an environment where there is a horizontal interaction between everybody? And at the end of the day, we are serving the common purpose. So it's not easy balancing those three levels as a HR. There is the policymakers or the board, then you come to the managerial team and supervisors, and then you have the operational team. You know, down here, it's not an easy job.
Doesn't?
Yes.
Pretty much. In majority of work environments, and I will tell you exactly what happens at Lookuptv.
Yes.
I mean, when you come in through the HR's door, you're introduced to the company.
Yes.
There's a meeting that normally goes on. There's a staff meeting that essentially says, this is Simba Elijah Charles Kiage is joining us in as a presenter. And I'm going to explain to you what happened to me. there was a staff meeting. I came in with the rest of them, and I was told that this is Simba Kiage is joining in as a presenter, host, producer here at Lookuptv. So please, guys, welcome in. I was told to make a speech, and that was it. The next day, I was expected to gel in with the rest of the workforce. In that instance, how is that a limiting factor to me as somebody who really wants to gel in with the rest of the group at Lookuptv?
Yes. Good question, Simba, there. I remember when you joined nursery school, the first ever day?
Worst experience.
And yes. And you just handed into the hands of a stranger. And your dad or mom or guardian just walks off. So you know the emotional cycle that goes into that. This is a new environment. These are new people. So I believe as HRs, there needs to be a procedure of induction.
Yes.
You're not just thrown from the deep end and you're expected to swim. This is a new company. This is a new organization. It's very interesting, Simba, and I shouldn't have said this at this point, but it is very interesting that when we're doing team buildings, we have a portfolio of about 200 plus corporates, private and public. But I can tell you, I've had teams, somebody has worked in an organization for 15 years. You ask them what the vision is, the mission, the motto, they have no idea. You know why? The induction process wasn't there. They were just brought on board for a job. If they don't know the vision, what are they serving anyway? It's very interesting because you go do your job and they're happy to have you walk off. You're successful in the interview, on to the next one. What's the next thing in the entry? So there needs to be a procedure. There needs to be somebody on board, an officer you assigned to. You remember how we used to do it in high school?
Does it?
You had a form 3, you're given into their hands.
Does it?
Chaperone this guy, mentor this guy, show him around, show him the ropes.
Yes.
Why do we do this? This is why we... So yes, we need procedurally look into it so that you can well gel into the team and it will take a shorter time. For you now to move from a group mentality to knowing that you're in a team and you're working towards a common goal.
That's it.
Yes.
Any other person listening to you then would start asking the questions.
Yes.
Are you doing it in a way that it doesn't become an event? Somebody would give you this example that I've seen this company event where they say it's a social event. We're going to go out there, play football. Then after that, have lunch. And these are end-year events. And then after that, the journey continues.
Yes.
It becomes an event to the point that the problem of not gelling with the rest of the team, reinforcing positive work environment, it's normally seen in that event.
Yes.
You get done with it, and then you come out of it and continue with that. What is the thing that you're doing differently that you're promising any other corporate that listens to you this morning saying, if you give us your employees, they're going to come out there happy, knowing exactly what it is that you're trying to achieve as a company?
I love that. I love that because that is actually what is happening a lot. Team buildings have been made an event. And once we are done, just like you say, there's an end of year something, there's a party, there's a cocktail, and that makes the end.
That's it. Where you sit with your friends.
Yes.
You know, the even the groupings at the party, isn't it? I will sit with the people that I talk to.
Yes.
If we were picking teams, I will make sure that the guys that I know very well are in my team. And that's it. So we go out, you come back, the same differences or patterns that you're experiencing in the company, they're the ones in that event.
Absolutely. And sometimes it's worse because during these parties, there's a lot of familiarity that happens.
That's it.
So it might work against you actually on the Monday.
It is true.
Other than work for the company, it might be bad because now we know who the boss.
That's it.
You know, and this is how we do it personally at Delight Team as a company. Before we actually engage, we give you a questionnaire that you have to fill. Why are we coming in? Why are we coming in as team building facilitators? What are we actually doing? What are your goals? And then once you answer the questionnaire, where are we going? How many members are in your team? What are the challenges you're experiencing? During the event, definitely, we will address that. But we make recommendations that are sustainable so that at the workplace, it doesn't have to be once a year. At the workplace, have a gaming Friday. Every Friday, we all know our mind switches off on Friday after lunch. Let's be honest here.
That's true.
On Friday, why don't you have guys have some board games after lunch at the workplace? Why don't you have guys have Zumba Friday after work. I've been engaged by some of our clients, and you find it's a fitness Friday. And after work, everybody gets to their tracksuit. It's commendable. I've seen you have a bathroom, a very functional bathroom, where you can come in suits, change, have your Zumba, change back, get back into your car and have a comfortable evening.
Does it?
Why don't we have, and it comes in as a function lately under HR still, of culture change.
Does it?
I love what you've done to your walls, art and everything else. That is culture change. I can tell you, sitting at the reception, you feel the warmth.
Does it?
Have you gotten into some of these offices, my friend? It's still a lecture room. It's very cold. And when you sit there, you cannot differentiate.
Yeah.
You being in second year,
Yes.
and now you're a full functional supervisor.
Does it?
There's
Does
no
it?
difference.
Yeah.
Let's make a culture change that people don't just get to interact, don't just get to talk,
Yes.
don't get to play these interactive games, don't get to engage in fitness activities during the team building event.
Does it?
Let's copy, improve, if not paste,
Yes.
to the workplace scenario.
That's it.
And I'm pretty sure some have enough space where we can hold some of those, I'm saying, board games. I've walked into an office.
Yeah.
Guess what you find after reception, Simba? A pool table. As you wait, you're engaging in a game of pool. Tones me down.
Does
When,
it?
when you're interacting,
Does
it's very horizontal. It's like meeting me in Java and we're sharing a meal.
Does it?
So we can have that under culture change, seeing how it is sustainable. Because again, Simba, being busy does not mean you're progressing. HR is after how many hours you put into the job. But basically, you might be behind a screen, but they don't know what you're doing. Because internally, you're not happy. You're not very free to work with the next guy.
Does it?
Create those scenarios, create
Yes.
that environment, positive environment,
Does it?
where people can interact more,
Yes.
learn more. Yes, sir.
Here's a question that you're gonna get a majority of times, and I've encountered this question.
Yes.
That indeed, for any other person who's talking about a positive work environment, bringing in dynamism into work, that you really have to understand the needs of each employee before you start curating programs and events for them
Yes.
that are geared to that particular purpose.
Yes.
How are you able to do that in a portfolio
Yes.
of over 200 corporates?
I do believe with a portfolio of 200 plus,
Yes,
that's
yes.
a committee. But to smaller SMEs, I'm sure we even have biodata when we're applying for some of these jobs.
That is it.
It is the HR's work to know you're a married man. You have 2 kids. If you walk in on a Monday morning and your face is a bit gloomy, schools are opening on Monday.
That's
So
it.
we all know it's a
That's
feast
it.
story
It's a
that is
feast story.
coming up. So you also have to have it's psychology.
That's
You
it.
have to be smart psychologically to know that people go through cycles.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, Simba. In line of wellness, we all go after work. After you leave this studio, this is not the last life activity you have. There's so much more waiting outside there. So I should be in a position to understand it's been a full weekend. You took your family out to rally. You might be tired. So at that day, I can offload you some. I can be a bit understanding. I should know you're married. You experienced a very recent divorce. You know what happens after.
Yes.
I should be able to know your emotional cycle is actually going downwards for now, and try to understand how do we create an environment that is positive enough to let you heal, to let you grieve. Loss happens at the workplace, and we are put to these WhatsApp groups, all of us, and it's somebody's dad, God forbid, it's somebody's sister. When they come back, we should understand this is a grieving son. They didn't leave it in the village, did they, Simba? Yeah, they're grieving. So
Doesn't.
how do we step in? How do we delegate some of his duties so that we can release you early to go to your family? Assume it's an in-law. We should release you early to go be with your wife more for a grieving period. So I guess the HR has a lot of work.
Doesn't.
They do have a lot of work, and one of the other challenges is I found most HRs are young people. So, we used to know, if you go to the public service, you realize HRs are they're senior, 50, 60. They have seen their fair share of life. So they will understand you to that level. But lately, I have found allow me to say this, harsh HR. They are 26. And they're also going what you're going through. So it doesn't make you any special.
It doesn't make you any special. Yeah.
So we should be more understanding, and that's it. And let those welfare committees be active.
Does it?
Yeah, because I found it's just a name. It's not anybody's JD. So you don't feel obliged to sit in there and, have somebody walk in and talk. It is nobody's JD.
Yes.
Can I make a joke, Simba?
Please.
Somebody told me one day, if the children of Israel were led by a committee, they would still be in Egypt. So most times committees don't work. Let's give all hands.
That's
it. Thank you.
In this, I like the way you're saying that, but it's something that you're really trying to talk to majority of human resource departments in this economy, and they are welcoming you into their companies. I mean, having a portfolio of over 200, that tells you that there is this need within the Kenyan economy.
Yes.
Let me ask you this question that you're going to meet a lot. The majority of companies are moving to hybrid work environments, where, Kevin, you're going to find that, half of my staff is here, and maybe half of them will be away, or the time that they're working in the office is once, that they're not essentially there. Does it make this issue complex in the sense of, here you are, talking about reinforcing a positive work environment at these workplaces and for dynamism at work. But there's somebody who says, me, as Simba, Elijah Charles Kiage, I fit 100% into the hybrid work environment. I do not need to sit in a company for me to deliver. Does it make it complex?
More than even complex. Because now this is somebody, as much as, we're moving digital. But we will never kill this. The personal interaction. That
this is paramount.
Yeah, very, very paramount. And you find as one dimension of wellness is social wellness. That's why you find even this guy who fits into the hybrid environment, they will leave their laptop definitely at 5 and they'll have to get out, do something. Play pool, cycle, they'll have to get into a social environment. So I guess this is something, when you pick it up, let's have it as a culture. For example, I have one of the companies, allow me not to mention them here. Lately, we have some things we call fitness trackers. And in the company as a culture, every end month, they will check if you have run the most distance. I use Strava myself, allow me to use Strava. They will check Strava. If you've done more kilometers this month, they will reward you for it. If you have swum this number of times, if you have hiked this number of times. So as much as they are out there, there are behavioral engagements you can encourage them to participate in. We all know working from the house is nice. We have our own freedom, which is the ultimate human goal. But what can we tag as a result, as a deliverable? That even when you come back, yes, you're serving the vision, this is what you're doing that, but plus work. What have we been engaging in? Yeah? And let's not have fully the whole month you're working from the house. Let's have a day where we all meet and play futsal. Ask a guy to bring in a pool table at the workplace and let's talk. Let's not just have boardroom meetings. I've seen people who are more productive during team buildings when they're interacting under a tree, under a shade, sharing water, drinking water, hydrating. Than in a boardroom. Oh, Letha, I know. That glamour doesn't work. It's intimidating, actually. Yeah, because the environment I was telling you, that horizontal interaction, very important. I did my outdoor instruction at a school called Mount Kenya School of Leadership and Adventure. It's in the middle of Mount Kenya. And when you walk in, they have something very interesting written on the gate. They have written there, strip your rank. Mostly the guys who go there are former administrators, PCs, DCs, DOs. But the reason they have done that, when you walk into nature, Simba, it's raining. Let's use the current situation right now. If we get out here, whether it's the camera guy, the presenter, if it rains for us all. If a leopard walks in through this studio, it doesn't know anyone. It's going to charge at anyone. So if we're able to introduce this environment, and you will get, if your leadership is more feedback-based, your employees are more free to talk to you now. They are more free to talk to the manager when you create that horizontal interaction. And it's brought by that positive environment.
Does it?
And I'm loving it. Lately, we all know corporates have very young people. These are young people. Allow me to say this. If you go to other events they are doing on the outside, they are very cordial among each other. So why don't we bring this to the workplace?
Does it?
Yes.
Pretty much. It's a conversation essentially about wellness and fitness at the workplace. All that stemming from reinforcing a positive work environment. Once we come back, then we'll be saying exactly how the events will feel and look like, the model of those particular events or those sanctions that they will take your company through, and how to make it stay. Remember how we started? The majority of this particular sanctions become an event. Towards the end of the year, at the beginning of the year, that's when we have a general staff meeting. And that day we are sharing a cup of tea or a cup of coffee as a company, proper introductions, and then you begin the year. How do we make it a culture within the HR function in this country that these events could be a mainstay in majority of these companies? Right here in a conversation with our delight team, outdoor gurus, who are saying we do have a solution for you in terms of that positive work environment, reinforcement, and dynamism at the workplace. Once we come back right here at Lookuptv, you have questions, you don't know what to do, at Lookuptv across all your social media platforms. I can't get in, but the hashtag is the morning drift. Once we come back.
Upande huu wa Ilpolei tumepata kiangazi muda mrefu sana. Ng'ombe zimekufa.
Today we are in Ilpolei in Laikipia North, and guess what? We're here with RUTO Foundation. We're ready to give food to the community. Leo ni njema kabisa.
Asante sana.
Munasema asante.
Tunashukuru sana tuletee.
Ndio hivyo.
Asante, Mungu awabariki na tukumbike kesho kutu.
Every time you play Lotto, 25% goes to the RUTO Foundation, which supports our fellow Kenyans through various causes. Thank you for your help. Together, we are changing lives.
Are you an SME looking for a media partner? Look no more, as Lookuptv got you covered for all your visibility and marketing needs. We at Lookuptv understand your business needs and want to work with you on your marketing journey, giving you solutions that will take you to the next level. Call us today on 0707 572 358 or send an email to sales@lookuptv.co.ke and kickstart this amazing journey. Welcome to Lookuptv, your official SME media partner.
Save a Life is a non-profit organization that has taken the front line in transforming lives in the entire country. So far, we have transformed life of over 100,000 people through our programs, which include medical support, youth empowerment, street family program, feeding program, and climate change. Join us today as we transform lives. As we always say, service to humanity is service to God. Save a life, transforming lives.
Start your day with a workout routine, an exciting moment of exercise that is simple but powerful for your ultimate fitness. Build your strength, shape and body muscles with lunges, push-ups, squats, burpees, planks, dumbbells and more. Let's work out every Monday to Saturday from 6:30 a.m. on Fitness Zone, a one surefire way to attack your fitness regimen effectively.
Proper conversations around how we can reinforce a positive work environment and a cohesive team dynamics at our workplaces. In conversation with one, Kevin Mwangi, who is one of the co-founders of the Light Team Outdoor Gurus. Let's talk about the next chapter in this conversation. It's about how this is not supposed to be an event. Because every time you tell somebody, I'll come in and I will help you with a positive work environment at your workplace, and I also talk about the wellness and fitness of the employees, they think, all right, well, when can we do it? That's the first question that you're asked.
Yeah.
How do you know that this as your company, Kelvin, how do you know that now in company A, we are really achieving? In company B, we need to do more. And how do we make this a culture at workplaces?
Thank you, Simba, for that. And like I told you, after the event, you said, for us, we will leave you with some recommendations.
Okay.
This is what needs to happen. Mm-hmm. We will come up with suggestions of this is what you can adopt. In some places, like you said, because of the hybrid environment, lately we even have clients we've never met. We've never gone physically to their working environment. But we make a point, after you engage us, to visit the workplace. In us making the recommendations and coming up with suggestions of what you can do at the workplace, because we've already interacted with your team. We know them. We know what needs to happen.
Yes.
At some point, we create what we call a safe space. A safe space is a concept I learned by Brené Brown in her book called Dare to Lead.
Yes.
And this safe space is where we can be vulnerable. There's no judgment. There's nobody who is living here saying, there's no familiarity. Let's talk. It's a let's talk session. It's a Friday afternoon. Let's talk. I thank one of my mentors, and this was my first ever formal job. And I used to do leisure recreation for a 3-star hotel. And every Friday, our CEO would make sure he buys us some boozy, and we sit by the garden and talk. And then he would come with a very free conversation. How is your station? How do you feel we can assist? Who do you feel here can assist you better? And those 2 hours were more meaningful than any operational meeting we had, because that is a feedback now that builds. Especially the private sector, where there's no much protocol. The deliverables are what are important. I found in the public sector there's quite of a challenge, because there's protocol. The boss is always right.
Also.
And sometimes they are very unapproachable. It's very hard to, you can't jump the gun. There are things you can't say.
Yes.
But in the private sector, where the CEO will even come in a t-shirt, will be like, hey, this is what matters. It's us meeting our goals. So what do you think should happen? Back to your question. When we make these recommendations, some will adopt, some will not. At some point, we have repeat clients. So like I mentioned, we always give a questionnaire. If you are a repeat client, we'll want to know, after what we did, maybe it's quarter yearly, maybe it's after half an year, and sometimes because of, let's be honest enough, some companies are not big, they don't have a budget that can support the team building event twice a year or thrice a year.
Yes.
We'll want to know from what we did last time. What's the build on?
What period are you recommending?
Quarter yearly.
Quarter.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you 3 months is a long time.
Yes.
After monitoring and evaluation, we've been in this for about 8 years. As much as it won't be an event, call us in to come in and really understand from where we left at, what's happening, where are people. Because also events, we are getting overtaken by the event, especially with the information age. It's floods today, it's what people's attention is diverted every day. So you don't wait 6 months for you to ask yourself, how far have we come? I guess 3 months is very good time to evaluate. And this should not even be left with the HR. This is a visionary's job. As a CEO, as a director, as a founder of a company, have call in people who are in the team building facilitators. Call us in with the HR. This is what is happening. What do you recommend? Even if it's an on-site training, we have so many trainers out here who are glad to come in, do an on-site training.
Yes, sir.
If we feel these guys have been constrained too much, I have a mentor who always tell me, your environment is stronger than your willpower. How about we give them 2 days to work out of office and maintain 3 for this quarter now, yes, after some monitoring and evaluation? Let's see if something will be different. Because I know what it means if you're working and you can still get out and go get your daughter from school.
Does it?
Because you're right at home. But if you're in Upper Hill,
yes, you
can manage to go to Langata and fix. Let's see if their productivity really changes.
Does it?
And the question about wellness, like I mentioned, that aspect of social wellness, because we are social beings. We are Africans.
Yes.
That is why if you put an African behind a desk, they don't talk to anybody else. Trust you me, they'll die in installment.
That's it.
We are not wired to work like that. Yeah. Africans are wired. Bonfire stories. That's how we are wired. Yeah. So the more we interact, the better it brings us out. And the better, a problem, if you talk about it, it's half solved.
That's it.
So that when you allow these guys to be in an environment where they can interact, I will be very open to tell you, bro, this is what is going on. There's a loan that is after my neck. As we speak, I'm decompressing. Builds my productivity up.
Yes.
But if you walk into office every day and you're depressed, you're stressed, you're dying in installments on the inside, your productivity definitely will go down.
Will go down.
Yeah, let's expose you to different environments.
Yes.
I found I'm an educationist by training. I did physical education sports for a degree. I should be a teacher. I have a TSC number. Although I'm a teacher.
You're still a teacher. You're still a teacher. You're still a teacher.
Thank you for that. Yeah. And they told me there's a very huge distinction between learning and education. And most of what we care about as Africans, and when we're doing interviews and all, is how learned somebody is. How many degrees do you have? How many? But you might have 90 degrees. You're just a warehouse of facts. You're not educated. And they told me the distinction with education now comes somebody is exposed, somebody has experience, somebody has examples, and in exposure, they're exposed to different social circles. You have a marketing department. You want to send that guy to a corporate world. You want to send them to an institution. They should know how to get into everybody's environment. So the exposure bit is very important. So it's not just sitting and this is what you expected to do, this is your interest, let's go. No. Let's think actively. How do we, in these people having a successful life, the work-life balance. What do we need? Come with pizza on a lunch after guys have done well. It doesn't have to be an end-of-year party. No. What do you think, Simba?
It should be like that. I hope my HR is listening this morning. I'll be one of those people who benefit from those pizza lunches.
Yes.
Anyway, so let's talk about the HR departments, the ones that you've worked with over time now in your portfolio. I mean, at one point again, there's an aspect of training the human resource departments as well on this particular area that you're talking about this morning.
Yeah.
Have they been receptive to actually say, good, after that event, I'm going to keep on going back to whatever it is that you have recommended and see exactly where I need to improve so that when you come back again, I'll be telling you, this is what it is. Yes.
Thank you for that. Yeah. I must appreciate that most, especially corporates, and mostly the private sector, have really embraced team building. I'm part of a team of team building facilitators. We're actually trying to come up with an association because now it has become a huge thing. I was just from the group today, and there are guys already in Naivasha, Sawela, doing team buildings every day. And it's moved from a weekend event now. Guys are doing Monday to Sunday. People are busy all over because people have really realized. Our motto as a company is you build people, people build the business. It is not the other way around. Simba today, if you invest somewhere, get huge space, whole office floor, nice leather furniture, Apple laptops and everything else, that is not the company.
That's not the company.
In the factors of production, that is just land. It's just an office. Yeah?
Yeah.
The company are the people who are
It's the
coming.
people, isn't it? Yeah.
So it's you build people, it's a reverse.
Yeah.
You build people, people build the business.
Yeah.
Because most people, like I told you, are on a seat. But if you ask them, the vision is a reserve of the corner office. They have no idea what they are doing. And the unifying factor, you well know, like I do, when we are working at Lookuptv, is a vision of Lookuptv, right?
Yes.
If you come, my team at Delight Maudo Gurus, they are there because we have a vision. If you can transfer that to the people, then there's nothing we are doing. We just, allow me to use my dialect, no kuhura maina ndiri. Yeah? So, back to your question, it's very well received.
Yes.
We have actually seen our industry grow
That's
as a team building industry.
That's
And ours, we call it edutainment. It's both educative and
and
entertainment.
entertainment as well.
There's that people are not able to differentiate. Like you said, there are people who are looking for that one day out of office to go get entertained. So it will be a DJ, it will be dancing, and it will be a lot of other, drinks and all.
That's all.
But the real team building is where people have a take home. People have something in here. People get home, we call it mental tattoo. People have something they can take home and work on. And if not the team,
Yes.
the HR has things. With time, you can call your members on operational meeting and ask them, this is Naivasha 1, this is what we did. Do you feel, guys, we are communicating right? Do you feel my office is open enough for you to come address your issues? Do you feel the finance department is facilitating requisitions in good time? Do you feel company 1 has, is well known to you, is, such things? And that can only come out with team building.
Does it?
Otherwise, the normal office, we are in an open plan, there's a top guy, there's another. It's very hard to create that balance. Very, very hard.
But at this point, Calvin, I want you to take us back to a success story in your journey.
Yes.
You've studied about this positive reinforcement, the improving dynamics at the workplace. Is that a success story that once you look back in this 200 the companies that you're already working with now, is that one that inspires you and tells you we're in the right place and everybody has to know that this is actually possible, so they should start embracing it now and now?
Oh God, but thank you for that. I'm smiling, you notice, because so many I have seen companies grow from somebody's homestead.
Yes.
Right now, allow me not to mention the names.
Yes.
But I've seen a land selling company right now. They will know after this. The best land selling company in Kenya. Grow from very little numbers to owning an office floor, going international, and it's out of these positive reinforcements, repeat clients, and actually for them, not just a team building where you go to a ground. We used to do adventure team building, where you go to Sagana, and the company will pay for your water rafting, for your zip lining and everything else. Part of positive reinforcement. Company tells you, we care about, not just putting hobbies and interest on a CV. Yeah, we care about you. So that is one. I have seen there's an NGO locally that has grown to leaps and bounds, and they started like 3 people, single room. There's so many I can mention. I have some that had come close to closing the business, and the business owner sits with you and asks,
and that's because of HR issues, isn't it?
Like, what do we do?
Yeah.
And when you delve deeper into the issues, they are not happy working there. Our own Mheshimiwa Kiraito Murungi got a degree in happiness, and people are laughing about it. But it's very important. People are not happy. People work because they're happy. They love what they're doing. But these guys were not happy working there. It's not the pay. Because if you consider the industry, people on the same level are paying nearly the same. They're actually getting better.
Yes, sir.
But you get the working environment. It's not positive enough. You're not getting mentorship. There's no promotion. I had somebody yesterday mention that during the Labor Day celebrations, why people are frustrated. Number one, at the workplace, because you join and There are no promotions. Nobody really comes to ask you. After 3 years, nobody reviews your salary. Nobody does nothing to you. There's no positive reinforcement. And guess what it does now to the workforce?
Yeah.
People are demotivated. And you find some of this. I didn't want to talk about this here, but it just came out. You find the people with pay slips, especially public service. Somebody has committed to 5 loans on a pay slip. Guys is earning 6 figures, but they take home 5,000 or less. Guess what it does to them? This is a guy you don't promote. This is a guy you don't understand. You don't smile to in the office. So these are things that come out. But you see, if there is that personal touch, if you can sit with your team, and do you know the distinction between a group and a team?
Does it?
We are a group of 7 in this studio,
Yeah.
but we don't have a common goal. If we are a team, you're a team because you have a common goal. You're serving a particular vision. Get members to be a team. And that's how our CS noted that in the public service, something needs to be done. Remember I was saying you put guys on performance contracts? Because he realized people now are just sitting on a desk. There's nothing they are doing. Because they are not a team anymore. They don't feel obliged to work towards anything. Yeah, but there are issues that can be addressed. And this needs to be, on a very raw platform. There are issues that can be addressed away from, the protocol and the deliverables and all. Let's not have those heavy conversations. Let's have a conversation that is very raw. Why are we not happy anymore? When we show up here on a Monday, when the boss walks in, we are 7 out of 9. And it's that. 2 are always missing. What's wrong? Let's have the conversation. Let's see how we can build the people who are working with us, for us. We'll end up building the business.
Pretty much. At this particular point, as we look forward to clearing this particular conversation, I want you to paint for me the vision of the HR function, how it's changing in this particular conversation. And in the next 5 years or so, how do you see yourself in this conversation for positive work environment, the reinforcing and also dynamism at a workplace? Yes.
I'll quote Brené Brown again.
Yes.
And, one of her quotes, she says, in the past, work was about muscles. You understand the man who had to hunt. She says now work is about the brain. We still care about doctors, professor, how many degrees do you have? But she says in the future, work is about the heart. That's heavy. Because we are heading somewhere where if I walk in here, it's how I'm treated. It is not what I'm finding. It is how I'm treated. It's how I will feel.
Yes.
If I don't identify with you, I don't invest in you. If you're a marketer, if you come to me, it's not the marketing jargon I care about. It's how well you understand me. It's how you leave me feeling that will make me give you a yes or a no. So coming back to the HR function, I think we need to be more empathic in that seat, if you ask me.
Yes.
We need to put ourselves in people's shoes. I know sometimes the pressure from above is a lot, but again, you hold the truth because you understand the people.
Yes.
And the truth at the end of the day is a lion, it will still win. And like we say, the power is in the people. If the people are not happy, whatever pressure comes from the board, from the visionary, it's the people. It is on the people. So sitting there, as much as it's a hot seat, we need to be more empathic. Moving on into the future, let's create a culture change at the workplace. Let's not have the usual office spaces we had in the past. Let's create something more interesting. I just told you about a pool table. Let's have a dart, have a board. There's an artist who works at the company. They find a board and a pen, definitely after lunch. They will pick the pen and do. That is a way of venting out.
Yes.
And it leaves them feeling balanced and aware. And when they see it, they can be more productive. So let's dig deep more into what can we do as a culture change
Yes.
for an organization.
That's all.
And talk to the big man. Oh, he cares about his productivity, and it's the people who are going to do that. Yes.
That's
Yeah.
pretty much in your journey now.
Yeah.
What are you going to say that you've finally achieved, whatever it is that you wanted to achieve as a Delight Team Outdoor Gurus? In respect to the Kenyan economy conversation
Yes.
around this particular subject.
I'll still base it on our motto: you build people,
Yes, sir.
people build the business.
Yes.
We get feedback every time we go out on these events
Yes.
and team building, and it's the positive feedback
Also.
that works for us. It is a success story.
Also.
When somebody, a visionary business owner, tells you, "I have never seen it this way." Simba, I don't know if you're aware, when we do our team building games under a tree, you can hold a master's class under a tree using cones. You don't have to go to a third floor in a suit and tie with an apple laptop. It is just the approach that is different. And they see things in a very interesting way, because life is very simple. You simplify things. You know, when we are using Lookuptv English and Queen's language and all, things look a bit complex, but things are quite simple.
Yes.
So as a success story, building teams, being called again and again for a repeat job, having referrals all the time. I will tell you, we don't have a marketing budget. It is all referrals because we've done a good job. Another success story I have is mentoring people.
Yes.
If we go all over, I have worked with team building facilitators. I've worked with photographers and videographers. I've worked with DJs, because sometimes as we go out, again, fun is the best way of learning. We need to move a few joints here and there. So it is a success story. And walking every day by the street into a restaurant and finding somebody and they recognize you. You remember you were training our team, and you know, the supervisor will tell you, my department especially, we copied the facts you said.
Yes.
A lesson you brought out. And things worked really well. So it is a real success story. And again, starting from this country and going out now for team buildings, nothing else. I'll go out, it's a training, a boardroom training, but they tell you, we don't want to just sit in the boardroom. Come do something outside. That for me is a great, great success story. Knowing now we can be counted among trainers. That is a big success story, and we're grateful.
Pretty
for
much.
that. Yeah.
Guess what? It's a conversation that you also need to pick. And if there's a human resource manager listening to Kelvin today, you also have to start today. Because ask around, it's a personal story. Majority of us do not know each other outside of this workplace. And outside of this workplace, according to Kelvin, is essentially what would improve the productivity of this particular place. It's an important conversation, really, for companies that are telling you that indeed we need to improve your work dynamism and also track the fitness and wellness of your employees at your workplace. That is somebody that you need to listen to this morning. Guess what? In conversation with the Delight Team Outdoor Gurus, in conversation also with Kevin Mushoki Mwangi, who is the founder and director at Delight Team Outdoor Gurus. Taking back online and Lookuptv across all your social media platforms. I am at Kian Gesimba. For any other question that you might have for him, where can they get you, Kelvin?
All our socials, Delight Team Outdoor Gurus. That's on Facebook, on Instagram, we on YouTube. That will get us there. Yes.
Kevin, thank you very much for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure having this conversation. Now you do know exactly what the HR function needs done for it to be a magic bullet to the productivity and performance of the employees at the workplace. I'll see you tomorrow for another edition. Goodbye. My name is Simba.